Do you want to avoid dramatic disappointment? Do you want to avoid loan denial? Do you actually want to make it to the closing table? Do you actually want to make it to the closing table on time? Do you want to have a smooth and on time closing? Because if you do, you need to know these top homebuyer mistakes. That way you can avoid them. Are you ready? Let's dive in. This is your one-stop shop for anything and everything mortgage education. I drop new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. My name is Stephanie Weeks, and I have helped thousands and thousands of customers with their mortgage financing. I've been a loan officer for 17 years, recognized in the top 1% of loan officers in production for the past several years in a row, recognized by Mortgage Executive magazine. I also have been recognized by the Scotsman Guide of Top Originators. My goal for this channel is to share with you anything and everything mortgage education to help avoid pitfalls, help you have a smooth and on-time closing, and help really narrow down this dramatically big sea or ocean of information online when it comes to mortgages. I have broken down these top homebuyer mistakes into 5 things to cover today. They are huge, they can make or break a deal, and I want to help you avoid heartache and avoid loan denial. It is such a bad spot to be in. And the good news is, these are really not overly complicated, so I know once you have this knowledge, you are going to be set up for total success. So let's go. Let's dive into number 1. Number 1 is actually not providing what is needed. That sounds simple, but it's not detailed enough, so I am going to thoroughly explain. If you provide a bank statement, and that bank statement says 5 pages, and you do not supply pages 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you've not supplied what's been requested. If you are asked for paycheck stubs, and you're asked for 2 or 4 or 1, whatever, let's just say 4, and they're not the most recent and they're not consecutive, you have not supplied what is needed. If you're asked for a photo ID and you give an expired ID, guess what? You guessed it, you've not supplied what has been requested of you. If you do your loan application and you put on there that you make $5,000 a month and you put on there that you have $10,000 in the bank, when the lender goes to verify this information, and you do not have $10,000 verified in the bank, you have not given what is needed. When they go to verify that $5,000 a month in income, and it can't be verified and substantiated through check stubs and W-2s, possibly tax returns, verifying information with the employer. There's lots of audits that we do. If you can't provide all that to support that $5,000 a month income, you have not given what is needed. All that we're doing on that loan application when it's time for documents is getting proof that you were thorough and you were honest and the information provided can be validated. Please give them what is needed. That is a huge, and my number 1 today, big home buyer mistake that you can make that's gonna cause you headache. Let's move on to number 2. The second thing I'm gonna cover today is not following your loan officer's instructions. Yes, I'm serious. We kind of know what we're doing. We're absolutely here to help you. We are part of your team. We have no benefit to not close your loan. The goal is to get you approved and close your loan. If you don't follow the loan officer's instructions, you're putting yourself in a bad position. What are some examples of this? Let's say if they asked you to provide certain bank statements and you provide something else, that's not following their instructions. What if they tell you to pay a debt off at closing and not before? And you think, oh, I'm gonna go pay it off now, no big deal. That's not following your loan officer's instructions. There are reasons why we say what we say and say to do certain things at certain times. Another example, maybe your loan officer tells you that your credit is low and that you could possibly get a nice bump in that credit score by paying down certain debts. and maybe they tell you to pay down certain debts to certain balances. And then you go out and you say, I'm just gonna pay it off, no big deal. I didn't pay it down to that number you gave me, Mr. Loan Officer, I just paid it off. That's not following instructions, and you might not get the same result as what they gave you and told you to do. The loan officer is there to guide you and try to get you to a smooth and on-time closing. Number 3, I have referenced this a little bit so far, so it's kind of been teased a little bit. However, number 3, please, I'm begging you, provide accurate information on your loan application. If you provide inaccurate information on your loan application, that's one of the main first-time homebuyer mistakes. If you've been on your job for 22 months, don't say you've been there for 2 years. That's an incorrect loan application. If you have $5,000 in the bank and you're gonna save $8,000 before you plan to buy a house, please do not put $8,000 on your loan application. You don't have that today. You have $5,000. If you plan on getting a gift and you don't know what that gift is, but maybe the relative said it'll be between $2,000 and $5,000, please put $2,000 because that's what you know you're gonna get. The difference between the 2 and 5, you're not quite sure you're getting yet. Put the $2,000. If your income is hourly or salary or base or bonus or commission or overtime, when you're filling out that application, there are different boxes for those things. 99% of people put everything under base income. If the approval is run with everything under base income and it's actually a combination of day rate or overtime or commission or bonus and it wasn't entered right, guess what? The approval is wrong. Put your accurate information as far as income in there. For commission, overtime, bonus, we take averages. So please do not round up when you're completing that loan application. If you pay alimony or child support, there's a box for that on the loan application. Please make sure that you put that information. So many people leave that off of the application and it absolutely can change everything. It really can. A good application makes all the difference in the entire world between approval, denial, a smooth closing, an on-time closing, or just an utter disastrous situation. We're gonna go into number 4. I've kind of teased this a little bit as well, but another huge mistake is overdraft and NSF on your bank statements. When a lender is trying to approve you, they are trying to make sure that you're responsible and that you're likely to repay the loan that they're giving you. If you have overdraft and NSF, that does not show responsibility of your money. Listen, banks make mistakes. If you had an overdraft or NSF and it was reversed because of their mistake, absolutely fine. If you have an overdraft or NSF and it was like a one-time super rare event and you can prove that by more than just saying that, but prove it through other bank statements, a history, things like that, then that might be overcomeable. Some programs, an overdraft or NSF, and seeing those and having those things could cause you to get a loan denied when everything else looked pretty good overall, right? So don't provide bank statements with overdraft and NSF. If you have accounts with overdraft and NSF, you're gonna have to just either let those wash through that year if that's the situation, because I think they renew every year as far as the bank statements and how those show. Or maybe you just, you know what, we're human and we make mistakes. Maybe you just have a crap bank account right now. You know what? Then go get a new bank account, start over, be responsible with it. But you're gonna have to have it for 9 out of 10 times about 2 months so that we can see that history. There are some exceptions to that, but don't think you can just close out your account, move the money, open a new account, and that all's gonna be fine, because we trail every single penny to its source. So keep that in mind. Number 5. When you are combative with your loan officer or your lender, that does not help the situation. When you tell them that you don't have things that you do have because you think that they might somehow not realize that those items exist, they're going to find out. Not being truthful and honest and forthcoming, that is number 5. That is not going to set you up for approval or success or a smooth and on-time closing. When I say that as lenders, we look at everything from 5 angles, I am not kidding. And when I say that we audit everything more than you would ever believe, I am not kidding. When the loan gets to final underwrite and the loan goes through audit, there are even more reports that we don't even know the name of, you've never heard of before, and they're going to find things that you're trying to hide. So you've got to be honest, forthcoming, and provide everything and not be combative about it. Remember, we are here as a team. We're here to help you. We're here to serve you, and our purpose is to get you to a closing. I'm going to give you a few quick examples of this so that you have a better idea of what I'm talking about. If the loan officer says that I am missing some W-2s for a certain year, and you say you're not, maybe you're forgetting about a job that you worked for a day and you got a W-2. I've seen that happen. We look at the W-2 line item on your tax return and matched up with the W-2s to make sure that we're not missing any pieces. Even then, sometimes if we don't need a tax return, but we just need W-2s, we'll pull audits from the IRS called W-2 transcripts. And guess what? If those numbers don't match, and we can't match up each W-2 and each number, means we're missing something and we're asking for it, it exists. You need to find it and you need to get it. Another example would be, most people do not read their tax returns. That is what I find in my experience. Most people don't read their tax returns. They don't understand their tax returns, and it's very confusing. I've had issues where someone might be self-employed and have a business, and they say, I don't have a business. I don't have a K-1. I don't own that property. Things like that. Well, we look at things on the tax returns as far as properties owned. We look on the credit report and reference addresses and clarify and verify those addresses. We look up things with the tax assessor. We have a title company do different research. We have audits that we pull and reports that underwriters pull that we can't pull on the front as loan officers. And that will say if you own other real estate. That will also show, like if I'm looking at your tax returns coming back to the self-employed borrower, and I say I need a K-1 for ABC 123, well, that's because on the tax returns it shows that there's a business called ABC 123, and there is a number which reflects from a K-1 onto a Schedule E that's on your tax returns. That means that's in existence, or your tax return's wrong and needs to be changed. Think of it like a puzzle. We have to look and find every single piece to the puzzle and put it together to make sure the picture's complete. If there are missing pieces to the puzzle, you don't get the loan. If the picture's not clear, you don't get the loan. So when we ask for things, it's because we need them or something is showing us that they're in existence. So just work with your loan officer and help them find those items that they can't find for you that maybe you need to pull because they're seeing something that's leading them down that path. Today's free download is going to be a PDF copy of my book, Mortgage Peace, also available on Amazon. It's $13, but today it's yours for free with the download. Do you feel more peaceful? Do you feel like you're going to avoid these first-time homebuyer mistakes? Because if you do, please type peace in the comments below. I get so excited when I hear from you all. Did you like the video? If you did, give me a thumbs up. Heck, give me 2. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified. I'm going to drop some other videos for you here. Again, if you haven't subscribed, click that button you know you want to. And let's connect on social media. My Insta handle is _TheRealStephanieWeeks. My website is stephanieweeks.com. And my Twitter is @LoneLady_Stephanie. See you in the next one.